All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I'm not sure if you can see this mess underneath here, but that's what we're going to deal with today. These were like, oh, the they're 10 years old when I bought them 6 years ago. They didn't always look like that. These little wire ties here had the wires kind of like hokily hooked up. I had new wire loom from the back that I'm going to use out here just to get these wires done. A few of the ends are bad, mostly the males. That if any end goes bad on these things, it'll pretty much be the male end. Is the So I'm going to replace a few of them. Probably shorten some of the wires. I don't know how they had these configured, but those wires are almost long enough to go all the way to the end of the panel. From that end to this end is what I'm saying. Crazy long wires compared to the other ones, compared to other ones that I've worked with. They normally have, like 20, two times that, like 20 inches of wire is about all they have for a little pigtail. But as you can see, the diode box here, it's just I think they're double diode, but maybe even just single. The way they react in the clouds is just like NICs, any amount of cloud shading, so they may just be a single diode. But and that could be why they were replaced, is what I'm trying to get at. But do they have enough power? Yeah, they got it as long as it's sunny. They work really good in the sun, but not great in the shade. I'm going to take all this and make. There's like three of them over here that I got pigtailed together. That's what you're seeing right about there. To heat that heating element, that really wasn't working, y'all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect all that, disconnect them all from one another, test each one, start building them back in series, replace the ends as I need to, build it all back in one big series string, and then put it back through the pipe. I'm going to go back to kind of the way it was before. Next year, let's see if I can do it. Next year, I'd like to come out with like even a steel roof. It doesn't matter. About 10, 12 feet, somewhere about where these posts are, and make that flat so the sun doesn't cook in here. But from about there outward is about 45-degree angle with that double wall polycarbonate kind of material, and make this just all one big atrium here. Is the atrium works. It looks bad, it looks hokey, it looks rough, it looks all of them kind of things. It works. That's the only thing that really makes any difference. Up here where the winds can get, 50, 40, 50, 70 miles an hour, 100-mile-an-hour winds, that's the difference between, like, doing it and doing it better is what I'm trying to get at. There's no comparison is what I'm trying to say. The atrium works, y'all. But I was wanting to just make it bigger. And right here, there used to be a tank, and I want that back. The big storage tank, you can't see it, it's on the other side of the truck. But the big black storage tank that's outside is unusable for about 5 months out of the year. In the so the I and when this tank was down through this silt layer, any storm water, if you notice the desert is a couple inches taller that direction than this direction, all that water has to go somewhere when it rains. And that just means that it just pours across your property. I mean, it looks like a lake out here sometimes. It just shines and it's just only 1 or 2 hours in a day, maybe twice a year. We call it the monsoon, but the amount of water is crazy. Just because it can't go anywhere is what I'm trying to get at. But when that tank was here is what I'm trying to get at. It was down through that silt layer, and the water would just come so far and then just run down alongside the tank and be gone. I never had a water egress problem, but it is getting, the 12 years that I've been here, the cloud cover has constantly gotten more dramatic. Every year we get more cloudy days. Not a big thing when you got like 300 sunny days, but we're getting more. We're getting more rain. not like a big pattern or nothing. I don't mean that, but the amounts of water, not the frequency, but the amounts of water are getting bigger. It's changing. That's all I'm trying to say about when I talk about climate change, y'all. It's changing, and even I can see that in just the short time that I've been here. I mean, yeah, I understand that there's ebbs and flows in the weather. I've followed it since I was a kid. Dr. Grigg, is he taught me how to predict the weather uh, with barometric pressures and watching other people's weather. You know how it's going to affect mine. When I was just a little kid, and I remembered that my entire life, and I just use it. I mean, some people say, what you're not going to ever use that. Yeah, I use that pretty much every day of my life. It's just pretty handy to know what you're dealing with. Is what I'm trying to get at. Today it's cloudy. This afternoon it'll be bright here. But that's on the weather. I didn't look at that. But I'm going to try to get these all in one series, put back through this line. That's the line that brings them back. Yeah, when the horses mess this up, this all started last spring. The tank was here. The thing was on top of the tank. The horses come through, ripped the conduit out, ripped all the wires out, crushed the bucket, mashed in the top of the tank. Or I take that back 2 years ago. Two years ago that happened. But yeah, wow, what a fiasco that was. And there's nothing you can really do about it. They do that. But you love them anyways. You know, I mean, yeah, they're a little bit destructive, but you got to love them. Well, I'm going to get underneath here, y'all. I'm going to try to pause this, but normally I get a half dozen phone calls on this or that or two of the other things. And it always interrupts it, or I bumped the wrong button. Mostly the latter is mostly my fault. I got big fingers. But I'm going to try to pause it, and if I can get back to you after I get this straightened out, it'll be a better video, I think. Yeah, what a mess that is, right? We're going to try to get this addressed into something that's more understandable. Because even I can't understand that. That's pretty rad. Okay, guys, we're going to pause this, and we're going to try to get back to you. All right, that was fairly remarkable. I'm sure you can't see that. Oh, yeah, you can maybe. The one panel that I thought was bad, that even tested bad, and turned it up, it was just the ends, but both male and female end were bad on it. Replace those. Did all the other disconnecting, reconnecting. It's all making one series, 359 volt. I tapped into the line. It's not hooked up to the inverters yet, but that's next in the line here. What else was I going to say? Oh, the other 3 line, it's separated, pulled. That's what you're seeing pulled back here. That's what you're seeing here pulled out. Other than that, I don't know if there we go. I'm going to get these put back up, but I'm not even going to go fancy. I'm just probably going to use the little strips. It went together really well. And those strips work for the length of cable because you got to fold it up. You'll see in a minute. It'll look like little bow ties in between them. Give me a second. I had to go back for my drill. It was the only tool I didn't bring out. But I didn't forget 6 or 7 tools, right in a row. It was a good thing. I'm going to get them little straps put back on, and then we'll go from there and then get this thing hooked up into the inverter. Give me a minute. Alrighty then. Y'all, would you look at this? These are the lines that I disconnected and pulled out. That was going over to the 3. These are all hooked up in a big long line. Retested it after I got done, still 359. That's always a good sign after you stretch the wires and, it's just common sense to check it again. But it's always good when it doesn't change is what I'm trying to get at. It's hard to believe how much crap you got to drag out for such a small job, but I used everything there. But, well, no, I didn't. I didn't use the wire. The red and black wire I didn't use. There was nothing that needed to be changed or lengthened or shortened or nothing like that. So, well, it got too dark to see now. Well, that's better, kind of. I don't know, a little bit close. But we're where we're at, and that's what I was talking about, the little bow tie things up there. I was going to shorten all those wires and put new ends on everything, but they really didn't need it, and why spend the money when it's not necessary is what I'm trying to get at. There's always time to... You can always spend money tomorrow. You always have that option. Whether you save money or not today, that's your option to spend it tomorrow. I'm going to get my tools put up. This is done. I'm going to get the power put into the inverter, and we're going to go from there. I don't think I can get that all on this tape, but I'm going to try. If not, then this is where it gets cut off. But, all right, here's where we're at, and we're going inside for the inverter next. All right, we made it so far, y'all. You just keep keeping your fingers crossed. I appreciate you in the back that's just been hoping, and I appreciate that. We're going to disconnect this for the application, like it don't make any difference to y'all, but turn the box upside down and all that to get it mounted on the wall. It's going to disconnect from the hot water heater, and then we're going to see what this thing can do on 120. And it should be able to run just like it did before. It's what used to run. I mean, it's not like it's going to magically be different is what I'm trying to say. Well, let me go to work and get this done. I got to, like, bob the ends of them off, clean them up. Like I said, flip the box up around the other way. Put those in. The little pigtails that I cut off will go into the top. I'll get rid of these wires. Those are the wires that fit up inside the inverter right there. So that's where we're at, and we will, oh, there we go, that's probably cleaner and better, is we're going to cut these ends off. These will go into that end. Well, no, those will go into this end. However, I don't remember which way it's orientated, but it's upside down and backwards is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, that's what it is. These here will get cut off. These will go in here. The ones that I cut off will go back into this side. The box doesn't really make a difference, but the breaker is going to get turned around. And then they'll be coming out and going up into right there. Okay, we're almost there. We'll see what we got in a minute if we can make this all one video. What a thing this has been. All right. I cannot believe this all worked like that. We got the box in. What it was is I was meaning, I just didn't know what I was talking about at the minute. But the cables were in the wrong side of the inverter, or the breaker. Not that it makes a huge difference, but it's, you know, labeled positive, negative, and I had it backwards when it was charging the tank down here. Right now, them panels in the front are putting out 263 watts. If you notice, I said 359 on the open voltage. The under load voltage is 290. That's normal. Don't get alarmed. Is what I'm trying to get at. It's called squashing the voltage, and it all does. It's just DC. It just does that. That's why we use AC, and that's why we use 60 hertz, not 50. Is to keep that from happening, so the lights don't go brown. It's running 1.8 kilowatt of a load at 120, and it's this dummy resistant mode right there. This one was at 3,000, putting about 27 amps into the batteries. They're going to taper off because the batteries are almost full, or will be very soon underneath with this much power going into it. But safely, that's the idea about this, y'all, is you want these kind of computer controlled jobs so you can limit how much power they put into the batteries. Like this one is, I don't know if I'll be able to see it right from the get-go. 60 amps right there, I believe that's what it is. Let me double check that before I go moving voltages. Oh shoot. I don't know where my... I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh shoot. Yeah. See, I can limit that right down to what it's going to allow into the batteries is what I'm trying to get at. But you don't have to is what I'm trying to get at. I don't think this thing could make 60. To be honest, off the front, if there wasn't a load. So it's just the way it is. But yeah, there we go. Oh, 327, something happened, something's interrupted. Oh, it's probably topping off on the batteries. Or the sun just come out. Something happened, I don't know. But yeah, that's more right. 359 to 327, that's more right than the lower voltage. And that's just, let's see what it's doing. Yeah, it's just making more wattage. Or that's kilowatt. No, that's not the one I want. Oh, man. No, this ain't doing like the other one's doing. I don't know how to say it, maybe it is. Maybe I'm just reading it wrong, is what I'm trying to get at. It looks like the right screen. Could be this clouds. It's cloudy day. And that's what could be messing with me is what I'm trying to get at. This one doesn't have that effect. But yeah, it should be up around 4,000 and it's 2,500. So that's what it is, y'all. It's just the clouds outside. That's hence why I did this today. It was always a part of the plan. I was just considering if DC direct for the floor heat would be a better option instead of going through an inverter. But at $300, no, just buy the damn inverter. Everything about the DC, like the DC controller or anything like that, DC to DC, is going to cost in the 1,000 range. And you don't want nothing cheap when it comes to DC. You want as beefy as you can get, like American made with an American warranty that they're going to replace your house kind of thing. That level of beefy. Yeah, don't skimp on the DC side. The AC is, you can do NEMA or the NECA code or whatever they say, go with that. DC, you want a little bit better. You want more. But that's where we're at, y'all. The front is putting in 332 volt. The back is putting in 397 volt. There we go. That's a good test. The front is producing 1,200, 1,700. The clouds are around is what I'm trying to get at, y'all. The back is 29, 22. It's all over the place. 17. That's just the clouds passing over. But it looks like we're in a good shape. And now I'm gonna. I can shift it electronically, is what I'm saying. If it's just too much for the day or whatever, I can just shut the breaker off now. No harm, no foul. But this should help with like going through December without ever needing power. This is like redundantly overkill for power. Now I just need a couple more big batteries. The ones I've been talking about, that MB56, it's like 4 of these in one cube. 48 volt. And then I'll get 2 new inverters, but they'll be the EG4 6000. That's just best I can do. I can't do that right now. This is all I can do, right? I didn't even think I was going to get this far, to be honest with it, y'all. I knew the racks were going to be a monumental step for the price, and I had to deal with that first. But now that they're done, and I had not any extra money, this is all on credit. And I appreciate Citibank yet again. I want to shout out to these people. Citibank Group are the people that gave me the money for all this. and they would give me more. I mean, it's not like I'm limited. Enough to complete it is what I'm trying to get at. And that's another 11, maybe 14,000, and then add some more for Trump's bullshit. It's still more is what I'm trying to get at. But when it gets that far, it'll be a house that has, you know, a week or more worth of batteries capacity. Whether we don't ever have storms that are that long. 3 days is a big storm for us. But I don't know what I'm saying anymore, y'all. Is the oh shoot! I gotta shut that off. Oh, stop it, man! I got my headphones playing, y'all, and what a distraction that stupid thing is. There we go. I've officially got to that age where I have to turn the music down to see better. Ugh, I hate this, but it's the truth. I just can't. I can't do like 5 or 6 distractions. That second truck wreck just took it all out of me. I got no more left. My little wonky box, every time I tried to screw it to the wall, either it would tilt one way or it would tilt the other way, just a little bit out of square. It was like, or out of plumb. It was like, oh, you heathen. Best I could do is what I'm trying to get at. And I tried like 3 times. I finally just gave up. I said, okay, that's enough of that. But it would just kick it one way or kick it the other, just enough that you could notice it. Okay, we are there. We are full batteries. I got to find some more load, y'all. Talk to you then. We did a successful job. We got a breaker. The panels are in series in the front, all hooked back up. The one panel I thought was bad only needed a couple ends. Hey, it's a win-win-win today. All right, talk to y'all then. Hope y'all have a good day and a better tomorrow. I pray everything in your life is going good. I got confirmation from Amazon. The strain relief for all these wires going up in the boxes are coming. That was a challenge, or not a challenge, but it was a repeat thing. The other box that I bought to put for the AC side is coming for this one, and that wasn't on them. That was on me. I didn't know if it would fit all, because the ground fault breakers are much bigger, wider than normal breakers. And I didn't know if it would fit them. Otherwise, I'd order another box. A different box is what I'm saying. They got every form and flavor of these little dudes down here. But this one worked out perfectly for the big breakers that I bought. And so I'm just going to get another one, and it'll go here and there. And then the pendant is coming Thursday. It'll be on the end of one of these big cables. But it's this cable here, right there. It'll be on the end of that cable, but I don't want to put it in until I get the strain relief to not pull the guts out of the electrical over there. As soon as I get the strain relief, that'll go in. The pendant will go back over here for the hot water tank. That's at 2,000 watt. Now that this is all hooked up, I believe I'm going to get the other tank probably this year even. It's about $300, $400. But it'll allow me to shift electrically again, just kind of like what I'm doing here with the breakers and turning power on and off. But I'll be able to put the biggest of the elements in there. The floor's been doing really good. Last night I had to sleep with the door open again. It got way too hot. But that was my doing again. I went to town and I left it on. I just like little town over here, real close, not the big town. And I was just going for snack food, Dollar General junkies. I needed some Pam spray so I could make some edible. I bought a new mold for a cake, like a silicone cake pan thing, but you're supposed to get the spray to put on it, and I didn't buy that at Walmart. I went to Dollar General and bought some. But that's where we're at there. But yeah, it's working out better than I could have ever hoped for just using excess solar energy, and fairly on the cheap. This is going to power my house for the next 40 years or 20 something years. These batteries are incredible, and the bigger ones are even better. And I just want 2 of the bigger ones. But that, like I said, about another 14,000, y'all, to finish this whole project up. if you were going to do like your own standalone house, you're looking at about 30,000. I have seen on the internet where they're upwards of like 90 for the same system. So in that range is what I'm trying to get at. So expect sticker shock. The prices I'm saying to you is me sourcing the parts, me doing the labor, me arranging labor if I have to buy it on the cheap or whatever, calling in favors from neighbors, that I've done favors for. My numbers are really squashed down is what I'm trying to get at for all this. But I'm still in the 30,000 range by the time I get the new inverters put in. So is what it is. But that 30, that's with the solar in the back, all done up and everything. So, all right. Well, these old panels that were in the front, 16 years old, still holding with the best of them. And there's only 10 in the front, 12 in the back. So the voltage difference is not that much. They're performing. Now, do they got the wattage? No, that's where they're limited. I mean, they're handicapped. But that's just from degradation from being old, 16 years old. But they're still producing just fine. And I'm glad. I am so tickled that one panel just needed ends, and that's all it needed. It was fine otherwise. And okay, well, we're there, and we're going to let y'all go. And like I said, hope you have a big day and a better tomorrow and all that stuff. Okay, talk to you then. Bye.